these are the 4 teams just in case. No, if you want to be traded, say you want to be traded.
Let's get to some football talk. We're all back together. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, presented by Progressive Insurance. All guests on the Goodyear Hotline. You may know Russell Wilson and Sierra had a baby whose first name is Win. And at this point, the Saints are hoping to win.
They had a baby.
What's that?
She had a baby?
No. Previous child they had was named Win because Russell Wilson is all about winning.
Wait, what? Breaking news.
That's what I was like, because I remember she was pregnant, but I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
So they have a baby. The baby's name is Win.
Well, future, right?
Right? No, their own child.
Oh, okay.
Their own child.
I'm lost.
No, they
you know
had.
what?
They had
I'm opting out.
No, they had their own child, but she was pregnant recently.
Yes.
And she had the baby already.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And his name is Win.
And his name is Win.
So they have a child, a boy named Win.
Okay. I didn't know what was going on.
Thank goodness I'm here to make sure I can get you guys up to date on Black culture. Thank goodness I'm here. Thank goodness I'm here.
Hey. On some networks, they need people like you. But anyway.
Stop.
So they have a kid named Win, right? Because Russell Wilson's all about winning, right? It's sort of an ode to what he's all about, lifelong winner, winning on the field. And so now the Saints are, of course, hoping to win the Russell Wilson sweepstakes.
Got your culture card, Zubin.
Such a thing right here. Back pocket. It's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Here is, as she will identify herself in just moments for you, the mayor of New Orleans, LaToya Cantrell. I don't think Roger Goodell can find like Mickey Loomis for tampering, the Saints GM.
Can't touch her.
Can't find the mayor for tampering. Listen to this.
I've heard the rumors now, and I want to make sure that you understand that the city of New Orleans is a place for you and your beautiful family. I'm LaToya Cantrell, mayor of the city of New Orleans, and I know, Mr. Wilson, that you will be a great addition to the New Orleans Saints. And more importantly, I can see us in that number winning that Super Bowl championship once again. And what else I can see? The Mrs. Sierra Wilson herself on that main stage during the historical Essence Festival. Just wanted to stop in to let you know that we not only admire you, we want you. Love you, man. Love Sierra. Love your beautiful family. The culture of the city of New Orleans awaits you.
The culture.
No, I won't. I know we won't have midterm elections until next year. But for the interest of equal time, the Seattle mayor, Jenny Durkin, tweeting, quote, "I love you, mayor, but keep your eyes off Wilson. His home is Seattle."
That's my man.
Yeah. Very busy weekend here. You mentioned it when we talked yesterday. It's J.J. Watt, Russell Wilson taking all the oxygen, whether it's in the Bayou or up in the Pacific Northwest.
No, it's great to see that he's wanted by somebody, right? Russell Wilson said he's not asking for a trade, or his agent says he's not asking for a trade, but yet and still, we talked about it last week, he gave us 4 teams. He mentioned 4 teams in the Russell Wilson, so to speak, sweepstakes that could potentially, if in fact Seattle was to ever part ways with him, which there's a number of reasons why Seattle wouldn't part ways with him. Cap, compensation,
production,
just all sorts of stuff. But New Orleans is interesting because we don't know who the quarterback is going to be, unlike the Dallas Cowboys. The quarterback in New Orleans can be any of the 3 that's there.
Three. I'm glad you said 3.
Right? It could be Breeze, it could be Jameis, it could be Taysom Hill. We don't know. Drew Brees put out a video over the weekend of him still actively training, which I don't have a problem with that. I get it.
Everybody trains.
Guys still train when they think they're going to retire. Even 12 months after they retire, they're still training because they got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They still get the itch going. But the Dallas Cowboys situation with the agent saying that Russell Wilson would prefer the Dallas Cowboys as a destination is a little head scratcher for me, because essentially, in my opinion, that job is already filled with Dak Prescott. Even though Dak is not under contract, so to speak, for those people out there that would say, Keyshawn, what are you talking about? He's not under contract. Well, yes, he is under contract, because all they got to do is franchise tag him when they decide to franchise tag him. They have a couple more weeks to do it. And once they make the decision to franchise tag him, because they're not going to let him walk out of the door for free, he's under contract. I have a problem with that because somebody has a job already. The other guys, Denver Broncos, I don't care about.
How about
Chicago,
Oakland?
I don't care about.
Oakland. I mean, I'm sorry. Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, I kind of got an issue with it because Carr's underneath the center. He's under contract, and he's a hell of a player. So I'm like, you trying to steal a man's job.
I don't care. Your job is your job. That's your problem.
No, I get it.
If I'm Russell Wilson, first off, I love how it's like somebody saying, I'm not running for president. That means you're running for president. I do not want to trade, but here are the 4 teams. It means I want to trade. And if I were to have a trade, if I can go to Dallas, you know what? That's your problem, Dallas. If you can't figure it out with Dak Prescott, obviously something's going on there. But I'm going to let the world know that that's one of my feasible options. If you can't figure it out with Dak, what's up? I'm available. Hey, Las Vegas. All these rumors, we talk about this forever, about John Gruden. He's never happy with the quarterback that he has. If that's the case, John Gruden, if you're looking to get rid of Derek Carr, what's up? I'm available. I have no problem with him targeting franchises that he wants to be a part of, regardless of whether we think their quarterback situation is resolved or not. Obviously, it's not. Because if it was, they would franchise tag him, or they would come to a long-term deal for Dak.
I get it. I just personally have a problem with a quarterback that's there in Dak and in Derek Carr in Las Vegas, and Russell Wilson's agent sending smoke signals to those 2 teams that have quarterbacks. They have quarterbacks. I don't feel that way about New Orleans because Breeze is like, he announced he's going to possibly retire, took a job at NBC. So I'm kind of like, they still trying to figure out who their quarterback is going to be. Chicago, same thing. They don't have anybody in Chicago. They're trying to figure out, is it Nick Foles or Mitch Trubisky or somebody else? And then what was the other team? Was it Denver? What was the other team?
It was the Bears, Dallas, Saints, Raiders.
So I kind of, I don't know, man. It's just.
I'm all for him going for Dak's job. If he wants it, if you want to be a part of Jerry Jones.
But see how you think Dak Prescott feel.
But why am I worried about how Dak Prescott feels?
No, I'm just saying, how you think Dak feel and Carr feel about him now?
1,000. I mean, I want to beat his head in when I see him.
Yeah, that's
when
all.
I see him.
I guess that's why I look at it from that standpoint that
it's personal.
You trying to come and you messing around now with my stuff.
Yeah.
So if I'm Dak, I need to, when we bump into each other, let's have a sidebar.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I like that though. Yeah.
Let's have a sidebar.
So it's more about Russell. Sometimes though, I hear what you're saying. It's personally more about Russell sometimes than the way he goes about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, whatever.
I would say the team I'm most worried about is New Orleans because Drew Brees looked every bit of 41 at the end of the season. You can't at this point. You just don't know if you can trust Winston, and you certainly don't know if you can trust Taysom Hill because the sample size hasn't been big enough. Just to clear it up, Wynn Harrison Wilson, born on July 23rd, joining Sienna Princess, and big brother, future Zahir. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. On the way, the Texans are about to get a haul for Deshaun Watson, right? Whoever wants him is going to give up everything. Key saying, hang on. The returns might be diminishing. Why already? Key will break it down after Jay has this from Indeed.
When you own a business, you're the owner of everything. Sales, finance, customer service.
Right now.
The belief in that building is they can fix this, and this is going to happen, and he's going to stay in Houston.
Once you say to the Houston Texans, I'm not playing, he's got to stick to it. Can't threaten it and then not do it.
In that mishmash of voices, of course, at the end there was Key, but there in the middle you heard, if you're going to trade him now. The man who said that, Mike Tannenbaum, the front office insider, is going to join us in 11 minutes. Things have changed with Deshaun over the weekend. I want to hear this, Key, from John McClain of the Houston Chronicle, who's been on our show a couple of times before, is plugged in with anybody on the Texans. I want you to hear this on his thoughts on Deshaun. Remember, he was the guy that adamantly said he was getting vibes from the organization that they absolutely, positively would never trade Deshaun Watson. John, yesterday on Sunday morning on ESPN Radio, changing his tune, maybe because the info he's getting is a little different now.
At least if you start over and you get a guy with a second pick overall, like Zach Wilson, or you take Tua Tagovailoa, at least you say, okay, this guy's going to be our franchise quarterback. We're starting over. They're rebuilding anyway. And I just hope some sanity returns to that organization, and these are the steps they take.
And Key, you have said, to kind of echo what John said, it's time for the Texans to start listening, because as crazy as it sounds with Watson's talent, it could be a watering down of his value if things don't pick up here.
Well, I think what happens is these things are like, they run in cycles, right? If we go way back to when we talked to oh God, I can't think who it was. It might have been John McClain that was on with us. And he talked about the Texans not doing anything. Mm-hmm. And I kept saying, they better try to figure out what they want to do, because as time continues to tick and people start to hear his frustrations, they know, based on last Friday or 2 Fridays ago when he decided to go in and tell the Houston Texans and Coach Kelly, I'm done here. Mm-hmm. Now that's just the start of the devalue. That's just the start of it. Now, the longer you wait and we get closer to the draft, now everybody knows